right, good morning. It's actual people on the TV today. Good morning, David. Yeah.
I'm sure this is a treat for you, right?
Well, it's better than a black screen. I don't know how much better, but it's definitely better than a black screen.
Been asking about the guys coming back with Diggs, especially your secondary guys, Diggs and Wilson and Brown. How did they look yesterday, and can they do a little bit more?
They did. They actually exceeded expectations for workload yesterday. So the report is this morning they feel good. So today will be a big day for all those guys, and then hopefully we can sort out how they're gonna play on Friday. So we just had working some obviously the defensive reps, the defensive backs, but also working a bunch of the opponent squad work just to make sure the conditioning's right and getting them as much work as possible. So I thought both Diggs and Donovan looked good. So and Cheeto also had a good day's work.
So you're optimistic at this point you'll be able to get at least a couple of these guys back for the game on Saturday as you work through. Sunday.
I hope so. I mean, we're gonna give them the opportunity to. So that's really what today's practice is for, and the padded work is obviously most important. So we're going to give them the opportunity. So today will be will tell us where they clearly are.
How about with Zeke and where he is after playing last week and not evidently doing anything yesterday?
He's limited. He will we'll probably hold him again today, or just to work him off to the side. But he's still having after effects from the game, so he would be in the limited category.
We talked to Randy Gregory yesterday. What have your been impressions of how he's played after really not practicing at all before coming back to you guys?
Well, I mean, Randy has a great motor, and boy, I mean, he can really bend and do some things, naturally, particularly from the pass rush platform. But what you see in Randy is, especially not having the training camp or the time off, he's continued to improve each week, and you can see where we, except for the 2 games ago, we didn't get him as many reps as we probably would like. So he's getting more reps, and he's playing good football.
Obviously, you've not been around him very much until this year. What do you think of his story and his comeback and what he's been able to endure and return from?
I mean, it's amazing. It's really a credit to obviously Randy but just the consistency that he brings not only to the workplace but the focus on the things that he needs to get past the challenges that's in front of him. So he's a very consistent, very likable young man. He brings the same approach every day. He fits right in. I mean, he really, from day one, you would have thought he'd been here from the beginning. So when he first joined us, but it's a tremendous story, and I think the part that I've been so impressed with is the fact that he's been public about it. It's obviously something very difficult to deal with, and he's been public about it. And but he's a private. His disposition, he tends to keep things to himself and goes about it in a good way. So, but it's been great to have him back, and he's, like I said, you would have thought he'd have been here from day one. It was a seamless return, and it's great to see him making the progress that he needs, both on and off the field.
Mike, this San Francisco defense, what are their biggest strengths? What do you have to? What are you looking toward to attack, and how are they difficult to kind of move against?
Well, I think the obvious is when you turn on the video, the defensive front jumps off the video at you. So their ability to get things done in a 4-man pressure. They have a good pressure, 4-man rush. They have a good pressure package. So just the way the D-line plays, when you're dealing with with a 4-point charge and tilted stance, and it's different, it's unique. You don't see it every week. You see it in Philadelphia, you see it now in San Francisco. So, it's a distinct game plan and how you have to play these guys. So, but they're very good defense. Play with good energy, and this will be an excellent challenge for us.
In all these thousands of questions we've asked you since you got here, I don't think we've asked you about LP. He's setting the record here this week for most games played by a Canadian-born player. Just your thoughts on what he's been able to do, longevity of that career, and knowing how topsy-turvy that position can be.
I mean, that's we all come from somewhere. So to be able to, that's what an honor, and he's just such a pro, very consistent, and to think he's done it that long, at this level, just from a professional football standpoint, is definitely impressive. So it's great to see him being recognized, for this, and we're proud of him for what he's accomplished, and I don't want to give away anything, as far as what we're doing moving forward, but just what an honor.
What is it to have he's never had a bad snap, and I know everybody should knock on wood at the moment, but to have that kind of security blanket in a spot that you get 5 plays a game, and he's not made a mistake. I mean, and it's kind of can be enlarged. What do you think of that? What do you think what he's been able to do?
Well, I think the biggest thing, obviously, with the snapping position, when you don't talk about the snapper, you don't hear about the snapper. He's obviously doing an excellent job. So, and I think anybody that knows LP that's played with him, or is coached, has been a part of this organization. He's that type of player. So he's very regimented in how he goes about it. He's very consistent in his preparation and just the way he interacts with everybody, and it definitely carries over to the field. So, like I said, I think the best compliment you can ever give a snapper is you don't need to talk to him very often.
How has Leighton Vander played since coming off the injured in your first game, and the questions with the injury last year? How has he developed over the course of this season? What have you seen from him since he's been back?
Well, being at the Mike position, you can see just as far as the angles and the fits and so forth. I think he's doing a better job playing more downhill than he was when he originally came back from the injury. But seems very comfortable, and he's an excellent communicator. I think him and Jalen definitely have improved the communication from earlier in the season. That's definitely been heightened, and you could just see it in the coordination of how our guys have played, in the last month. So he's doing a very good job.
There's been a good number of weeks that Anthony Brown has practiced in some fashion, but he hasn't quite been able to clear that bar in order to play in the game. How do you define that threshold of what's it going to take, I suppose, for him to turn these practice reps into game reps?
Well, I think it's really just the injury. It's every injury is different, and this has been tough because he's done it twice. So just where he can get to the level where he can compete, play in and play out. So and hopefully we're close. And then the padded practice is usually the indicator when you come back from these type of injuries. Good? Okay, thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it.